Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TUBEBUDDY. I've used TUBEBUDDY for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TUBEBUDDY is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TUBEBUDDY and level up your channel faster. We working. Oh man, it's over now. Keep running your mouth, keep running your mouth. Jermell Charlo really has a chance at Undisputed for real. 154. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, all that good stuff. Cash App, we working. Brian Castano, congrats to him. He just beat former champion Patrick Teixeira, and it was a real good performance. I thought he looked good. I don't know what the odds were, but today in boxing, for a low-key day, there was some quote-unquote upsets. Some people thought maybe the champion Patrick Teixeira would retain his title. He just lost to Brian Castano earlier today. Josh Warrington got obliterated and knocked down a gang of times, never really recovered, and quote-unquote upset. To me, it's not really an upset because I never really rated Warrington. Same thing with Patrick Teixeira. I told you guys, anybody who would listen, that I thought Brian Castano was fundamentally better sound. You can even argue that he beat Eassssy Lara when they fought. He beat Errol Spence Jr. in the amateurs. And I just thought Castano would win this fight, and I was right. You know, Ego Stradamus strikes again. 12 rounds. You know, he was fighting off the back foot. He was the guy with the better volume, better strategy, better game plan. And it looked like he was about to stop Patrick Teixeira in the final round. Like, he started to really put his punches together, the pressure, and it put him in a bad situation. So that's a pretty big L for old media, and I want to talk about that and talk about you know, what all this stuff means. So let's talk about some of the L's. Golden Boy just lost a champion. Well, they still have the champion, but he just lost his belt, Patrick Teixeira. They just yesterday lost another champion in Joseph Jojo Diaz, who failed to make weight. He came in almost 4 pounds heavy. He was like over 3 pounds heavy. And per the California rules or IBF rules, he was not able to reweigh in. So even if he wins tonight, he will not get that title. So he didn't give Tevin Farmer the rematch. He's being sued by his old management, who is alleging that MTK has broken the RICO statutes and laws. And that's 2 fighters in Golden Boy within 2 days that are no longer champions for different reasons that I just outlined. Bad look. Top Rank, you know, their main event crumbled. Joe Smith Jr., you got to feel bad for the guy. His opponent tested positive for the Rona. Wish him a speedy recovery, but that main event got canceled, postponed, whatever you want to call it. And then now, you know, Patrick Teixeira, he gets beaten, and soundly beaten. There was no controversy. Judges' scorecards, it was a unanimous decision for Castano, 119 to 109, 120 to 108, 117, 111. So everybody had it wide for Castano, which if you watch the fight, that's really the only way you could have had it, is Brian Castano. So, you know, another Ego Stradamus prediction that is accurate. Now, Brian Castano is the WBO champion, and that is the only remaining belt that Jermell Charlo does not have. So what does this mean, people? Brian Castano is an Al Heyman advised fighter. So that means PBC is now in possession of all of the belts at 154. This is a huge. I don't think some of y'all are listening to me. Y'all seen the title. You hear my voice. You're listening, but you don't hear Jimmy. This is a bad look, people. And I'm gonna break it down the best way I know how to. It's great for PBC, for Jermell Charlo, for Brian Castano, because if I had to take an educated guess as a betting man, I would say they're gonna go after Undisputed. You know, unless mandatories or something comes up with the WBO, which will really be BS because a unification and whatnot should trump all that. So I don't really see anything getting in the way of an undisputed fight. It's Jermell Charlo just beat Jason Rosario, who was a unified champion, from beating and stopping J-Rock in his backyard in Philly. Brian Castano just shined and soundly beat a champion. And it needs to happen. That's the next fight that needs to happen. So congratulations to Jermell Charlo. Again, as a betting man, I would say that should be next on the plate for him, or maybe even late, like if he does a tune-up or something, maybe late this year. But I definitely see him fighting Castano. Why wouldn't you? And PBC has been very educated with that, striking while the iron's hot. Now, the reason why I said this is bad for old media, let's look at it. Golden Boy lost 2 champions in 2 days. Top ranked main event got crushed. Now PBC once again owns the 154-pound division. There were thoughts that Terrence Crawford could go fight Golden Boy's Patrick Teixeira for the WBO championship, which is what I said, that previously PBC, they pretty well had a grasp on 147 and 154. So I said that's bad news for Terrence Crawford. I told you this because even if Crawford moved up to 54 to get a title with a Golden Boy fighter, I don't think the Patrick Teixeira fight really would have been a big fight. But now it's off the table because Patrick Teixeira just lost. So the guy that just won, Brian Castano, shout out to him. Shout out to Argentina. He is Al Heyman advised. He goes back to PBC, I would imagine. And Jermell Charlo is Al Heyman advised, and he's on PBC. So you do the math. So once again, for old media, you know, you look at it. Who is Terrence Crawford gonna fight? If he stays with Top Rank, you've seen Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy meeting up. There's pictures of them meeting up, having dinner, talking and catching up or whatever. So I think the plan was to probably have Terrence Crawford maybe go after Patrick Teixeira, a Golden Boy fighter. But now there's no, there's no real reason. And I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but I don't believe you can have a rematch clause if you're fighting your mandatory. I think that's off rules. And Brian Castano was the mandatory. So there's really nothing that's going to force and give Teixeira another opportunity at this belt straight away. Because again, if it's a mandatory, I don't believe there can be a rematch clause written into the contract. So he just lost. Beyond that, he lost convincingly. He was almost stopped in the final round, and he lost throughout the fight, and the scorecards were wide. So who even wants to watch that fight again? So it's just puts Terrence Crawford back in the same position, if not worse, because everybody from 147 is with PBC outside of Crawford. And I'm not saying every single person, but I'm saying the heavy hitters, the Danny Garcias, the Errol Spence, the you guys, the Sean Porters, the Keith Thurmans, the Bertos, the Adrian Broners, those guys. And I think Pacquiao has a fight with them. Same thing with 54. What is Crawford? Who is he going to fight at 154 now? Because I could see them possibly Top Rank, Golden Boy collab, making the Patrick Teixeira Crawford fight. But now that Teixeira lost his belt, that fight doesn't even make sense for Crawford to move up, because there would be it'd be a low level name. He's coming off a loss and he has no belt. So big win for PBC. Say what you want about me, but I keep getting it right. Let me know how I did in this video. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, Ego sign off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.